Welcome back to the Bleachverse, guys. So, Ryogo Narita's The Spirits Are Forever With You novels are without a doubt among the more popular of the Bleach material that I would personally recommend to any new Bleach fan to go and check out. This is largely because these novels reveal a whole lot of Bleach lore and backstories that are not covered in the main story. For example, the novels actually share the story about Aizen's fate and his interactions in the Muken prison after his defeat by Ichigo. Additionally, the series also drops several interesting backstories about some interesting events that happened in Soul Society a few hundred years before the Arrancar arc timeline. Generally, the novel revolves around the story of the 8th Kenpachi, Soya Asashiro, who is actually on the cover of the first part of the novel. But that aside, as I was rereading the novels recently, several interesting thoughts occurred to me about the hierarchical history of the revered Kenpachi title. So in this video, I want to discuss about the only Kenpachis who have ever held the title and were never defeated but instead relinquished or lost the esteemed title in some other way. Additionally, as a bonus, I will also talk about the Kenpachi that rose to this rank without having to spill any blood towards the end of this video, so do stick around until then if you wanna find out. The title of Kenpachi is a title that commands a lot of respect in Soul Society. It is the title that is only given to the strongest Shinigami. According to the Soul Society's customs, it is an ironclad rule that there can be only one Kenpachi per generation, meaning that the predecessor must die for the killer to succeed the title. Basically, to inherit this title, the candidate must kill the current Kenpachi in a duel to the death. The Kenpachi title is traditionally held within the 11th division of the Gotei 13, and there have been a total of 11 holders of this title up to the present, with the current Kenpachi being our man Zaraki. With that said, despite the fact that there are 11 holders of this title in Soul Society's history, some of the facts revealed in the Spirits Are Forever With You novel series uncover a bunch of interesting facts about the historical hierarchy of the Kenpachis. So, to start us off on our list of undefeated Kenpachis is the first ever Kenpachi of the Gotei 13, Yachiru Unohana. Now, the reason I am classifying Unohana as undefeated is because she was never technically defeated while assuming the title of Kenpachi. Instead, she just relinquished the title to become the captain of the 4th division. Originally, before becoming a Shinigami, Unohana was known as the most diabolical criminal to ever exist in Soul Society. Realizing her power, Yamamoto recruited her to become one of the founding members of the Gotei 13. Unohana laid the foundations of what would be known as the 11th division and became its first captain as well as the first Kenpachi. During her time as the first Kenpachi, Unohana encountered a very young Zaraki whom she fought. Despite having little fight experience, the young Zaraki actually managed to injure Unohana and in the process rekindle her love for fighting. Unohana had grown wary of fighting because she could never ever find anyone who matched her strength or her skill. However, despite winning against an untrained Zaraki, she realized that the young man was way stronger than her and better suited to become Kenpachi. Eventually, sometime later, Unohana left the 11th division and became the captain of the 4th division, essentially abdicating her title as Kenpachi without having been defeated in any duel. The next Kenpachi who never faced defeat is Soya Asashiro, the 8th Kenpachi. Asashiro's come up to become the 8th Kenpachi was quite interesting. So, after Asashiro left his childhood home to join the Gotei 13, he shortly after challenged the 7th Kenpachi at the time, Kuruyashiki, to a duel for the title. In the duel, Asashiro quickly and easily defeated Kuruyashiki with his broken Bankai and became the 8th Kenpachi. However, as Kenpachi, Asashiro was soon at odds with the Gotei 13 due to his extreme plan to eradicate all hollows. Interestingly, instead of being apprehended, Asashiro turned himself in once an order to arrest him was put out because he did not want to spill the blood of his fellow Shinigami who were pursuing to arrest him. Ultimately, Azashiro was sent to the Muken for his crimes, leaving the title of Kenpachi without any holder. Azashiro thus became the only other Kenpachi that was unseated without adhering to the traditions of the title, which is a duel to the death. On the flip side, there's also a Kenpachi who gained the title without having won in the customary way, and that is the 9th Kenpachi. Although not much is known about his name or his powers, the 9th Kenpachi was the only Kenpachi to rise to that position without a victory against another Kenpachi. Following the detention of Azashiro in the Muken, the 11th Division was left leaderless, and in a bid to replace the arrested captain, Central 46 approved the promotion of the then vice captain to become the 11th Division captain and thus inherit the Kenpachi title. However, the 9th Kenpachi's tenure seemingly did not last, and he was shortly killed by Gosuke Kiganjo, who replaced him as the 11th Division captain and became the 10th Kenpachi. Aside from Unohana and Azashiro, I guess you could also technically include Zaraki in the list of undefeated Kenpachi, since up until the end of the source material, no one really arises to challenge or defeat Zaraki for the title, and thus he meets the criteria we're trying to use for this video. All in all, the stories about the two undefeated Kenpachi have raised a lot of questions about the legitimacy of the rest of the Kenpachi who took the mantle after Unohana. This is largely due to the fact that the first ever Kenpachi, Unohana, was never killed in a duel until she and the 11th Kenpachi, Zaraki, faced off in the Muken. This essentially means that we never really get to know whether the 2nd Kenpachi all the way through to the 7th Kenpachi were ever stronger than Unohana, because they never really fought to settle this. This is also the same case with Kenpachi number 9 up to Kenpachi number 11, who held the title after Azashiro. The simple fact that Azashiro was not defeated in any battle also calls into question whether indeed his successors were the strongest Soul Reapers as the title demands. Perhaps you could say Zaraki's win over Unohana in the Muken during the 1000-year Blood War arc somewhat legitimizes his claim to the title, but still, this victory is over a less diabolical Unohana and, in my opinion, really does not earn Zaraki the stripes he would have earned if he'd defeated a prime Unohana. The same kinda goes for the other subsequent Kenpachis who succeeded Azashiro. Azashiro has one of the most broken powers in the entire Bleach story, and any victory over him would have certainly distinguished the victor and set them apart, since due to his mind-blowing abilities, he is a very tough opponent to beat or control. So much so that he is able to escape from the dreaded Muken prison. So there you have it. That's my list of the undefeated Kenpachi. What do you think? Is there any important detail that I may have left out? I would love to hear all your thoughts, so let's keep the discussion going on the comment section. As always, if you did enjoy the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more great content. Thank you for watching, and I'll be catching you in the next one.